All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to PreMarket Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I am doing good. It's rainy. Rain's just starting here, so a little darker today than it was yesterday. But other than that,
fine. Same here, man. We're getting some rain as well. It's so funny. It was a little drizzle in the morning. The minute I got to get out the house to drop my kids off, that's when it starts pouring. Just right before that, it's just a downpour. So I'm like, perfect timing. But other than that, man, it's good. It's all good. All right, friends, let's get to it. Market data for this morning, what we got going on here. Here's our U.S. economic calendar.
Yeah, it's another quiet day here today. Not a lot happening, really. I mean, we have the wholesale inventories, as you can see, at 11, and then a few Fed speakers. Jefferson, Collins, Cook, all speaking at 11, 11:45, and 1:30, respectively. Really, none of that is that important. Now, interesting, I thought I'd make a mention to something. I didn't put it on the calendar because somebody was asking a good question the other day. There's a lot of economic data that I tend not to list. So, for example, today at 10:30, we do have the crude oil inventories that are coming out. And if you follow oil futures or crude oil, then you're going to know about that because that's a pretty major impact. But from an equities market, doesn't matter, right? It just doesn't have that much of an impact. Likewise, later today, we have a 10-year note auction that's happening. Pretty big, if you're in the bond market or if you follow the Fed securities. But from a stock perspective, really has negligible impact. So we don't tend to mention those just because there's always those types of things happening. And I only tend to focus or only list the ones that might have some equities impact. So just show you that you're aware, because there's some good questions from a couple of our members the other day that were asking about those things. So just thought I'd mention them in passing, but we're not going to talk about them anymore. What we can talk about is earnings. We had a ton of earnings after the close yesterday, a lot more this morning. So there's some that are on our gappers list, some that aren't, but it's giving us lots to talk about here on this Wednesday morning, hump day, as we look at what's moving this morning. So we can get to that gappers list and get going on those. Let's see what we can trade.
Yeah, absolutely, friends. Let's hop in here. A quick look at the gappers list a little bit closely here. You can see it just not so much in the green, just 4 right now. Reddick, Tiva, Lyft, and ARM. So wait, Lyft is up today. Uber's down, Lyft is up. That's interesting. Okay. All right, so Uber down, obviously, on earnings. We'll get to those. And then we have a bunch down in the red this morning. So we'll see what's happening there. Happen over to our Dash Trader Pro platform. We're going to Control A, Control X. That's going to clean up this watch list. Again, as we mentioned before, that works for some people. It doesn't work for others. It's very weird how that is. But Control A, Control X. And you have to do it on a box that's empty, right? That has no letters. If you do it on one that has a ticker, it acts very, very weird. All right, let's see here. RDDT. So Reddick is up 11.7. Man, this thing is having some success as an IPO because we've seen things that don't go very well. But this is up 11.8, 404,000 shares traded. Peter, what's driving this thing today?
Well, as you would expect, there's two things. They had earnings. So actually, I think it's their first earnings report.
Yeah.
Well, it is their first since they went public and started trading. So it's got them moving a little bit. And in the earnings report, what did they talk about? But AI, of course. So talk about AI. People, oh, look, Reddit, AI. I mean, anyways, I don't know. I don't know why people are still surprised by this, it seems. But look, Reddit is basically back. It's still in the range that it was on the very first day of trading just a month and a half ago. So I don't know. It doesn't feel all that exciting. It actually was a decent trader when it opened, when it IPO'd. Look, it's our first earnings, so maybe today it's going to have some good price action. Hard to tell. It is listed on the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange. So keep that in mind. I think I'll put it on a secondary list. We'll see if we like other things better as we get close to the open. But being that we don't have a lot of data, it's hard to know what Reddit's going to do. So, it could be a dud or it could be awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it on here, man. This is I like the volume. I like that they're up 11 percent. I just like the fact that they're above their IPO price. I mean, that's a plus already. Usually we see these things just crash down and not recover. So let's see. RDDT on the list today as a secondary. I think we'll find better ones to look at. If you guys remember, Teva Pharmaceuticals was one that we used to watch a ton back in the days. But wow, look at this. They've been climbing out of these lower digit prices over into single digits. 1470 is their price today. They have 5.4% gain this morning, and they have a 1.4 million shares traded. So is this thing coming back into good trading again, or it's just a one-off for today? Nice gap up this morning.
Well, I used to love trading this,
Yeah,
but it is a fairly boring trader. Like it doesn't
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
move quickly, but it is tradable if you have the patience, or at least it used to be. I don't know. Recently, I haven't really watched it in a couple of years. But as you say, it was earnings. They did have earnings. They actually beat on their revenue, but missed on their bottom line. So a little bit of a mixed picture there. They didn't do anything exciting other than confirm their guidance. So they said, "Yep, whatever number you analysts say we're going to hit, that's what we're going to hit." So it is a I don't know. I mean, I guess it could move. We'll see what happens with it. Again, it's one of those that you can put on the maybe pile. Um, I just don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe we can watch this. Why not? We got lots of targets here today, so
yeah.
I'm not going to stretch myself too much. There's probably going to be today. It feels like it's one of those days. There's going to be a lot of stuff I'll be watching, and then once the opening bell rings, I'll see which ones actually start to move and give some price action that I like. So
Yeah, yeah.
I might have a really big list today that I'll have to narrow down only once I start seeing the price action as we get very close to the open.
Yeah, it's this, especially on the gap down list. I mean, there's so many on here, and we got some good names too, like Tesla, Snap. Well, I don't know about Snap, but it's on here. Uber, obviously, Baba. So we got a few that might make this list, and that's not even including all of our usual suspects that we like to look at. All right, so what's the story here? We'll talk about Uber now as well. Lyft is up 5%. 737,000 shares traded, and usually these two move together. So Uber, you see there is down. Peter is down 8%. Obviously earnings didn't go well, it looks like. But why is Lyft up? Do we know what's the
Well,
connection there?
so they both had earnings. Lyft had their earnings after the close yesterday. Uber had earnings this morning. Lyft had a much better earnings picture overall. So let's start with Uber, just so you know. Excuse me. Oh,
Yep.
sorry about that. They beat on revenue but missed on their earnings per share. That's on the Uber side. Lyft, on the other hand, beat all their numbers. In fact, it was a really good day for Lyft. They beat their numbers. They raised their guidance for the next quarter, and
Hmm.
they actually got an analyst upgrade. So yeah, Lyft definitely has got the better of the day so far. And as you can see, that's why it's on the green list and Uber is not, at least not yet. So, but yeah, I mean, I think Lyft looks like a little more fun right now, although Uber is certainly getting more volume as it usually does. Lyft
Yeah.
is still under a million shares. Uber's got 3.6 million. So like you said, they both tend to move similarly, but when you've got earnings like this, you can certainly see divergence. So yeah, let's again, like I said, big list, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that might move. We're gonna have to wait and see which continues through the opening bell. So there's
Yeah.
a story on those two.
I'm gonna add Uber on here, and I'll add Lyft as well. So we'll put those and see what comes out of this. So heading in opposite directions this morning. Let's take a look at what's happening down, starting with DV. So DV, it is a DoubleVerify holding. So these guys were down 40%, 710,000 shares traded. Big drop for them this morning. I don't think we ever seen this double verified. Is this like a IG double verification or to Twitter or X? What is this, Peter? What are we doing here?
I I have never heard of this.
Yeah.
They did have earnings. It looks like their earnings were yesterday, late after the close. But they had a sort of a mixed picture. They beat on revenue. It looks like they missed on bottom line. Their forecast was good. I don't know, but they got a downgrade this morning. I'd have to dig into this more. So I didn't really look at it. No, apparently, actually, they cut their guidance. They cut guidance for 2024 for the full year. That's why. Okay. So they think the first half of the year is going to be okay. Second half, not so good. So but it seems like an overreaction. But I don't know this stock. I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with how many targets we've got, I'd probably stick with something a little more familiar
Yeah, I'm
than
gonna do the same.
random PE.
Um, yep. We'll skip down to ZI this morning. ZI right now we are down 22%. Zoom Info Technologies, another one that does not ring a bell here. Down 22%, 356,000. Obviously, probably earnings, right, Peter? We never see this stock on play usually.
Yeah, and they've been on our list occasionally in the past, so I do remember ZoomInfo, but yeah, it's not a company that we regularly run into. So they had, as you say, earnings after the close yesterday. They actually beat their numbers, but I think it's once again the guidance. So people don't like the guidance that they're putting for the full year and have taken them down. Again, feels like a little bit of an overreaction, but it's tough to know with these types of stocks. I mean, look at the average volume is generally fairly low, so we're not seeing a lot of throughput on Zoom Info, and I don't think today is going to be awesome, but who knows?
Yeah, we never know. I don't know. I'm not gonna have it on my list. I'll skip it for now. Let's look at Shop, SHOP. So, man, look at this drop here, guys. We are down 20%, 2.8 million shares traded. This is just on fire and probably literally. Peter, latest and greatest on this one.
They beat their numbers, so they actually had a good quarter. It doesn't look like it, does it? But
Sure not.
what always sinks you doesn't matter how good the current quarter is if you're not going to give a positive forecast. And once again, their forecast was a little lower than analysts had hoped for, and as such, they are being taken to the woodshed. It's really not good. They're Shopify, of course, big e-commerce company, and they think that there's going to be a lot of contraction in this sector, and their margins are going to contract as well as their top line revenue. At least that's what their forecast is saying currently. So yeah, we're seeing Shopify down. This is another one that, again, I'd love to think that it's going to trade well. Typically, it doesn't actually trade all that well. The early price action doesn't look bad, frankly. I mean, it looks okay, but my experience has not been good trying to trade it. So
Yeah, it tends to get choppy. And that's kind of what I was mentioning over on our YouTube chat. It's a little bit tougher to trade. I'm still going to watch it today. This is a very big gap down. I think they're going to be heavily in play. And today, there's a big chance that today will be the day where they actually trade better because this is big, man. Down 20%, 3 million shares traded. It's just yeah, it's definitely on my list. But you're right, Peter. I mean, we've seen it plenty of times where it disappoints at the market open. Hopefully not today. So we'll add it on the list here and see where it goes from there. Uber, we did talk about Uber and Lyft. Uber, they're both on my list here. Again, we'll see how they trade today. Lyft might actually get moved down to a pass, so I'll probably keep Uber. It's probably the better trader. Rivian coming in this morning, and I see all EVs. I see Rivian, I see Lee, NIO. I think everybody's on here. XPEF, Tesla, you name it, is on this list. So any news, EV, Tesla-driven news this morning, Peter?
Well, Rivian is the only EV I was tracking that had earnings. So Rivian did
Okay.
have earnings after the close yesterday. Pretty mixed picture. They beat their top line revenue, missed bottom line earnings. They did confirm their guidance. They just said, yeah, we're still on track. And they did say, though, they're going to spend less capital. So they lowered their capital expenditures, which I would think would be a good thing if you can reconfirm your guidance with lower capital outlay. But the market apparently doesn't agree, and they're moving a little bit lower so far this morning. So, so Rivian is the one that's leading it, but as you said, all the EVs are down this morning. Rivian looks good on volume. again, I hesitate to recommend an EV because we know that they have not been moving well recently. All but, of course, our good buddy Tesla, which
That's
is
right.
it's a
Yeah.
category all on its own.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it goes down on the maybe pile. And again, there's so many things out there to watch. It's you don't want to pick the ones that are only so. You got to pick the really good ones.
Yeah. All right. Over on YouTube, guys, you have Abio, you have Megan, Mike as well saying hello and good morning. Great time. If you have Peak Capital Boot questions, if you're a new member, want to know more about it, ask it on there. Send us a test. We'd love to talk to you about it if you are interested. We started boot camp first week. I had my first meeting yesterday, Peter. It was great seeing new faces and meeting the people. It was a lot of fun. I am looking forward to it. So I'm going to put Rivian here on a secondary for now. We'll leave it there. What else is on here as far as that's not EV? This list has been taken over by EV at the moment. I'm going to scroll down. I see Snap. What's going on with Snap after a big gap up a few days ago?
Well, they actually did announce. Probably the biggest thing is they announced a secondary offering, a $250 million convertible note offering. That was this morning, and they did have earnings, but they've got a couple. There's Snap. I didn't realize this until last night when I was looking this up, but there's Snap and then Snap One Holdings, and I think it's related to the same company. I haven't honestly figured that out yet. But anyways, but Snap itself is secondary offering. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so not usually a great catalyst, but for this one, who knows? It might actually do something, but I don't like that catalyst, so I'm not going to watch it. All right, I'm going to skip down over to Baba because this list is very long, so I'm not going to go through everything. I'll look at Baba because I do like this stock. It is down 2.2, 392,000 shares trade. So we had a nice little push up here and then coming right back down. This stock has not been trading well. Besides the last couple of days, we had a couple of really nice moves in here. But coming back down now, so I want to keep an eye on it. It might not be one that I put on the main list, but maybe a possible to see is there any opportunities there. So aside from that, Peter, any other stuff you want to cover on the gap down list or any other earnings you might have that we want to go over this morning?
Yeah, you bet. We got a ton of earnings today, so let me try and run through them quickly. One that's up on our Gappers Gap Down list, Upstart, UPST, had earnings after the close. One of the big ones we were going to be watching after the close yesterday. Mixed picture. They beat their numbers, but had lowered guidance. So really low volume, though, so far this morning. So moving lightly. Let's see. Wynn Resorts, WYNN. Good morning for them. I'm surprised not to see them on our gap up list, but I think that's volume related. Let me check it. Yeah, very, very low volume, but good numbers. They had beat their numbers largely based on strength in Macau, but they had 5 different analyst upgrades this morning, so a lot of positivity behind Wynn. So this might be a later in the day play, it feels like, but I thought I would mention it. Twilio, TWLO, another earnings play from the close yesterday, beat their numbers, but lowered their guidance. So mixed picture on TWLO. EA, get in the game. Electronic Arts had earnings after the close yesterday. They just, sort of boring. They met their numbers, but provided a lowered guidance. And look, they're gapping down fairly significantly, but on low volume this morning. So those are all the earnings after the close yesterday. And then this morning, what I was watching, well, we mentioned a bunch of them. What we haven't talked about is, I think the only one we haven't hit is Affirm, AFRM. Who beat their numbers and are gapping up this morning. A little bit lower volume, but still 500,000 shares. So, this is one that we know can trade on occasion. So, AFRM might be worth watching if you're interested. But again, they were an earnings play. So, there was a bunch more earnings, but those are the ones that I was tracking after the close yesterday and through the morning. So, hopefully those give you some food for thought. A couple of things you might want to put on your list. I said I'm going to be watching Wynn, probably not at the open, but later today. And then we'll just see. I like trading the game companies. If they move, probably it's a holdover from previous trading. There was a point in time when some of the gaming companies they were trading awesome, but That didn't last very long. So
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
nostalgia maybe for me more than anything. But yeah, we're gonna have to see what we get today. Like I said, lots of I feel like there's lots of these secondary targets, right? That you have to weed through, figure out which one you want to watch, which one you may like best against your trading style. Other than that, yeah, let's go to the room and to YouTube and see what you're watching out there. Let us know if there's things that you would like us to take a peek at. We'd greatly appreciate that, especially for our friends out on YouTube.
Yeah,
And
let's do it.
we'll call them up.
Yeah, let's start here in our chat, guys. What do you guys like this morning? I see Tesla's being mentioned. Did I add Tesla? We talked about him, and I am going to add it on here as well because this is always fun to watch. So I'm going to add Tesla to my list. Wow, volume. I haven't put it up yet. The first time this morning. Volume is 3.7 on Tesla, down 4%. Yeah, Abio mentioned in chat that there's some kind of funny business going on with Tesla. What was I'm looking for? Yeah, some funny stuff happening there. I lost this message, but yeah, there's something going on with them. But look at this drop here. This is pretty significant. So yeah, on my list for sure. That is tons of volume. Government review, right? So there it is, Dancing Sun. So some government stuff happening there. Possible fraud. What are we talking about? What's driving it? But yeah, let's Tesla's good, man.
So I didn't see anything about government reviews. There was two articles that I was reading this morning. One, Toyota made some announcements. We don't typically trade Toyota, so I didn't mention it. But they announced that they're going heavy into EVs and AI technology that they're going to embed in their future cars. So, I mean, not a surprise, right? You expect Toyota to wade into the fray here at some point, but there's a specific thought that this may be a concern for Tesla, as once again, right, everybody's getting into the game. The other interesting Tesla article I thought was that, and I don't know if this is a hit piece or factual, but apparently they're saying that the Tesla superchargers, when it senses a non-Tesla car charging, slows the process down. And we'll charge those cars slower than other vehicles. That doesn't feel like a good model for them.
Sounds like iPhone. Sounds like something Apple will do.
Well, maybe. Now it could very well just be that the charger is less efficient because it's designed primarily to work with a Tesla car. I don't know, but I don't know. Is it true? Is it not? I have no idea. But I just thought it was interesting. Someone was writing a hit piece on that. Maybe could just be an angry person for all I know.
Yeah,
there's a lot of those out there.
It sure is. I like Tesla. Gonna have down the list, man. Looks awesome today. Friends, what else you guys like this morning? So we have Tesla on here. What else did you guys send over? CPNG. What is that? CPNG. Oh, we've seen this before. Actually, we saw this just a couple of days ago, right on in the gap up. Today, the gapping down 6.1. I did not watch it on this gap up day, so I don't know how they trade, but it doesn't look great. But I'm not sure. Peter, do you have any experience on this one? Have you looked at it before?
No. Well, like you said, we called it up. I still don't really know what they do. Apparently, it's a U.S. retailer, but I don't know what they do. Anyways, but they did have earnings after the close yesterday. And looks like they sort of had a pretty mixed picture. And they lowered their forecast for the next quarter, which is probably the main reason why it's dropping. What is a Coupang product? What the heck do they even produce?
Yeah, I don't know.
Again, it's an e-commerce site out of South Korea, according to this. I
don't know. I don't think this is going to make my list.
The name sounds more South Korean than it sounds American, but I don't know. Anyways,
gonna leave that one off my list, guys. The name, it just doesn't look good. I think we have so much better things to look at this morning. So just be careful. You have to be patient with this one because you might not get the move or volume right away. It looks like. Heading back to their chat, PLTR. Yes, PLTR has been very, very active over the last couple of days. Today, Not as much volume. We saw insane, probably record-breaking pre-market volumes out of this thing. It was just wild. And look at the daily. And PLTR has done this before, where it goes from trading 30, 20 million per day to 200, 150, 180. We've seen that plenty of times in the past. This thing can put in some volume. Look at this here. I think was the day where I think they might have broken the record or got pretty close to it, like 421 million shares traded. They just trade a lot of volume, right? So today they're 1.5 million shares traded. Pre-market action does not look that active, and this is kind of regular for them. It's not really a big deal. Could be a great possible though if they get going. They had a couple of really big days as far as gapping up or down here with earnings and everything else going on. Not sure if today's going to be any fun. It's just kind of getting back into their regular trading routine here. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's see how the market opens on that one as well. Over in our YouTube chat, friends, over on YouTube, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up. We really appreciate it. It does help us out a ton. Leonardo is saying that we should have a new drinking game every time I say Apple during the pre-market show. People should take a drink. That could be tough, man. We talk about Apple quite a bit. So I feel sorry for those who are going to be drinking and trading the open.
Yeah, there's too many drinking games. I don't think I need any more of those. Speaking of drinking, though, I did try and complete our mission from yesterday, Carlos. We were talking about the drink company Celsius. And,
so what was the ticker again? The ticker, you remember? C.
That's a good question.
Anybody has a handy?
Something that starts
there
with
it is. CELH. There we go.
Yeah. Anyways, I went to a couple of stores, didn't find anything. Even went to their website, put in my address, and they say, find a retailer near you to buy some Celsius drink. And it said, sorry, there is nothing. So the only way I could get it would be to order it from Amazon or something like that. So I have no Celsius drink this morning. I'm not usually big into the energy drinks anyways. And, I couldn't find it to complete our mission today. So
yeah, actually, I asked my wife if that is. I showed her the bottle yesterday. If that's the one that she bought before, and it was. We have tasted that in the past. Doesn't have the same kick like a Red Bull, or like what's that one Monster does, right? Obviously, there's no sugar in it. You need the sugar to get that kick. Doesn't have that, but I had it. It's okay. It's not it's all right. It's all right.
Evansville wants to know about the Swifty T-shirts. I guess I'll have to work on that for Friday.
Yeah, we will. That we should do. Friday might be tight. I haven't ordered anything, but I am working on ordering my tickets though, for me and you, Peter. So I'll show you here. Probably gonna get the worst seats in the house because I'm a Swifty, but I'm a new Swifting in training, so I gotta be careful. 1,982 to go see her down in Miami later this year. I mean, if that's not helping the economy, you tell me what's going on here. So awesome. Yeah. All right. It's insane. That's the worst seat in the house, probably. Oh, man, it's just wild. All right, let's take a look here, friends. You know what we didn't look at? Riot and Mara are both on the list on here. And I know these were hot at one point, or at least very active. Today, let's see, Mara. Oh, no, it's not really that good. It's down 3%, but the volume is extremely low compared to what we're used to seeing out of Mara. So not really seeing anything great here. Maybe a possible for now. We'll put it as a possible. We can always come back to it. All right, friends, we're ahead of schedule, not even 9 yet. Any more tickers you want us to look at? I'm looking over on YouTube. And I see Tesla we looked at. Dell might be having a great day today by our good buddy Racy. Let's see. Dell. Right now, no volume. So I'm not sure there's any news out there for Dell. And they normally are very, very light on volume. You can see that here on the daily. They don't get that great volume, which makes it difficult to have these explosive moves, right? I'm looking for that 5-minute RB explosion at the market open. You're probably not going to get it with this one as much. So I usually end up not putting it on the list. What else do we have? I saw another one on here. TripAdvisor. I don't know the ticker for that. So if we can get the ticker for Trip. Is it Trip, Peter? It is. TripAdvisor is Trip. So here we go. We're down 31%, 613,000 shares traded. That is a big drop. Again, another one that doesn't trade all that well. Looks like it's breaking out on news today or earnings this morning.
Yeah, main thing is that they had there was an announcement earlier of a potential merger. And they came out and said, we are not looking at mergers right now. We're not interested in it. and we have no talks ongoing with any company. So I think that I didn't. Well, maybe it had gone up a while back when the rumor had started, but it certainly took a downturn today when those that were hoping for a good cash buyout on a merger proposal were disappointed this morning. So.
Yeah, so not looking great. I do gotta say, man, it's hard not to put something like this on the list. It is down 31%, 700,000 shares traded. Maybe today's the day. Today is the day. This could be our sleeper for today, friends. I'm gonna add it on here. It just looks very good right now, down quite a bit and continues to drop. So let's see. Hopefully today it can do something for us this morning. So let's see what happens. All right, let's take one more. Then we'll head over to community events and announcements. Actually, I see a few more over on YouTube. I see Amazon and AMD, which, Peter, you have not mentioned AMD today. Do you have a drinking game you're trying to avoid?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Although I haven't really traded it in the last couple of days, I have to admit. So, which surprises me too. But I mean, I trade it when I see what I like, and I haven't in the last few days. In fact, it was sometime last week when I would have last traded. Yesterday, I only traded Tesla and Nvidia, and Nvidia. Even I was surprised by that because I don't normally trade Nvidia that much, but it looked better. So. I mean,
and it's
we're
really quiet
we're still
today.
going out. We're still going out. It's just, things are quieter right now. We got our own lives.
Yeah. It's quiet today. 282,000 shares traded. That's probably the lowest we've seen around this. It's already 9 o'clock, and this doesn't have much going on. Let's take a look at Nvidia. A little bit more, but also slightly more quiet than what we're used to seeing, especially in the last couple of weeks. So I think this will be off the list today. I don't think they're going to make it on our list so far. But, it's AMD, it's NVIDIA. Someone's going to have it. We're going to get volume. So if we see someone point it out, we will definitely take a look at it. NVIDIA, UPST, we did look at. A-firm looks brutal on the daily. Take a look at it now. We looked at it earlier. It just looks so bad. So you got to be careful on this one. The few times I looked at it, I had no success trading the way the price action is because their volume is just so low, right? So it depends on your trading style. For me, this is just not one that's going to give me a good opportunity for what I'm looking here. All right, let's head over to community events and announcements, friends. You can always do that by heading over to barebootraders.com, not TaylorSwift.com. So barebootraders.com, and if you come in here. And you click on webinars, you can get what's happening for the next 2 weeks. But today is Wednesday, and we'll let you know what's happening on this beautiful Wednesday.
I like Tunde's like, I don't like it when mommy and daddy fight. AMD and Peter should make up. We're not fighting. We're just, I said,
having some space, taking some space.
Yeah. We're just, we each have our own, our own activities, and things are still okay. We're not. We come back together at night. It's just we're out in the day doing our own stuff. That's all. Separation makes the heart grow fonder. That's all. All right. Anyways, let's talk about what we got going on in in the room. We had our strategy webinar last night, which was awesome, and then tonight we are going to talk psychology. So Mike is leading tonight's session. Going to talk about how to think in probabilities and how you can use that to improve your psychological effects on trading. That'll be at 8 o'clock in the webinar room. Hopefully you'll join him for that. It's always a good session. And, it's a great way to sort of help center your mind on the trading journey, because goodness knows this is psychologically challenging. It's tough every single day. Next week, Jared Tendler is going to be doing the next section of his webinar series with workshop number 2 on mapping your patterns. So that'll be on the 15th of May, once again, 8 o'clock, and once again in the webinar room. So hopefully you'll put that on your calendar and you'll join Jared and the rest of us in the webinar room for that session next Wednesday. So that's what you got coming up the next 2 weeks. And as I said, mark them because they're good sessions and ones you don't want to miss. If you want information on the markets anytime, well, tradingterminal.com sponsors the morning show, and it's where we get all of our information, from the news to the scanners, the pre-market gappers that we're looking at. You can use it for intraday scanners. You can use it to even trade if you wanted in a simulator. And all of that is free and available through tradingterminal.com. So please check it out. And if you wanted to join us here at Bearable Traders, well, we've got quite a number of membership options for you. We'd love to see you as part of the room and watch our live trading. If you've been on YouTube, you know that we are live trading for 30 to 60 minutes every morning, just to give you an idea of what happens in the room. But we do go all day and throughout the day, and then we have a different analysis, a review of trades. When the moderators come on, often they review their trades. You can sort of see what they've done, what they're doing, what they're thinking of, and of course, overall market analysis. So that's what happens live in the chat room from 7:30 in the morning right through to 4:30 at night. You can join us using the intro offer if you just want to sort of kick the tires and give it a trial for about a week. The basic and elite monthly packages, or of course the elite annual. So check it out. Hopefully we'll see you in the room sometime soon. Whew. Okay, we've got like we said, a lot of sort of secondary stuff. I feel like I'm struggling to figure out which ones I want to watch and which ones I don't. So I'm going to come up with my list while Carlos is setting some levels, see if there's any new IPOs to go with some of the older IPOs that we may be watching here today, and we'll get moving.
Yeah, let's do it, friends. I'm on the same boat you are. I think that the list is good, but it's not a blockbuster list yet, at least. INTC, what's going on with these guys? They're down 2.2 as well, 1.5 million. They just keep getting just slammed here, right? Just lower and lower every single time. They'll get a little pullback and right back down. I had in a secondary. Good movement today. Just things are not going well for them. So we'll add them out here. All right, let's take a look. Yeah.
They did have news this morning, by the way, that Intel had to call off their forecast, in part because the U.S. revoked an export license that they had held to certain customers in China. So those restrictions, of course, are going to prevent them from completing sales that they had anticipated, which is why they had to call off their forecast. So, yeah, some more bad news for Intel, which is what's gapping them down this morning.
Yeah. I have them on here, and we'll see. Volume is good, down 2.2. And again, breaking down and making a new low this morning, or at least trying to. No, I think it's making it. Yeah, made a new low this morning from the last a couple of days. And I think that's her 52-week low. No, maybe not. Back in the same month in May, we went even lower, down to 27 on INTC. All right, so friends, let's take a look at some levels here. So we have Uber, we have Lyft, we have Shop, we have Tesla, we have Trip. We'll see what is happening here as far as levels. Starting with Uber this morning, we are down at the low of the pre-market. Is going to be over at 63.35. So I'm going to slam a level there as well. And then above that, we do have some levels before we get to our pre-market high. It's going to be one big one right over here at 68.27. You can see a great area of support happening there over and over again. Many days slamming into that. And then below that, we do have 66.05 as well. 66.27, we just blew right by that this morning. So no stopping there, but you can see we stopped at the low of the day. And then here, low of the pre-market, we started flirting with the 66.05. And then right back down to that 63.36, and which has got a lot of action happening there. We're going to go to the left because towards the top, you're pretty much covered highs and lows for the last two trading days. Towards the bottom here, we're going to add December and January has a couple of okay days. We have a level 61.57, and then we also have right in this area around 58.71. I think that'll be a stretch. I think this, for it to go down that much will be hard, but we do have a nice volume and some weakness this morning. Here is Lyft. So Lyft is moving as well, but in the other direction. Now Lyft looks horrible. I added it on here to see if it's going to get the volume and look better. They are getting the volume, 902,000 shares traded so far, but it just looks brutal. So I'm going to bring it down to a secondary. I think it's not going to trade well. And the few times I watched, it's not like I hit it out of the park on this one anyway. So why bother? Let's look at something else that can give us some opportunities. Shop. I'm shocked how much Shop has dropped here. Yeah, we're down 20%. And Peter, this was good numbers you mentioned, right? So they had great earnings, but their forecast was brutal, and that's what's killing them today.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly.
man, not fun. So there you go. So here, guys, 61.43 is the low of the pre-market right now. 61.52 actually. So right in here. And the weakness continues as we look to retest that low of the pre-market there. Now, heading to the left, because we haven't been here in quite some time. November, October timeframe looks like we were right in this middle of this island, right? So we had a gap up to this place gapped up out of here, and we're right back into this area there. So as far as levels goes, towards the bottom, great area support at 59.88. So we'll slam one there, and then over here we'll do another one at 55.97, which you can see the beautiful resistance you have there. That can become great support. And man, if 55.97 sounds like a stretch, but this thing is just looking very, very weak. Towards the top, we have a couple of areas I want to mark down. 63.37 is going to be a good one. And you can see the flirting of the pre-market already with that level, coming off some of the highs of this little island here. Above that, we're just going to pick the big ones here. 67.04 is a nice one. This is obviously a big one here as well. You have resistance, you have support, retest before we kept going. That is 70.91. So add that there as well on Shopify. So once you do that, I think you're pretty set. I mean, I went as far down as 55.97. Let's see how this pre-market holds up with this pre-market low. But it's not looking good. I feel like it's going to drop more. Obviously, I could be wrong, but we'll be watching it for sure. It looks interesting. A stock that normally doesn't trade very well, but I think today could be heavily in play. Tesla, tons of volume, 4.2 million shares traded. We are down 3.6 on this thing. Low of the pre-market, 170.53. So we will slam a level there. So you guys slam that thumbs up over on YouTube. Our daily goal, friends, is 200 likes. So help us get there as we continue to provide this show free on YouTube. Really appreciate it if you guys can support us. And remember, Andrew and Brian will be trading live right after this, so don't leave. You're going to get some live trading this morning. 62.42 is the next level on the daily, where I see a lot of change in direction here, and here. So that's good. 162.42 that is. And then towards the top, we do have the highs and lows of the last two trading days. I am going to mark down the high of the pre-market. So the high of the pre-market here is going to be, let's see where we have it. Where's the high of the pre-market? Oh, it's just right below the previous day close. I mean, it's not even worth even marking at this point. It's just literally a penny below the previous day close. So previous day close is there for you. You don't have to really add much to this list as far as levels go. So love the pre-market action. This is great volume, and want to see how Tesla's going to be at the market open. Here is Trip. So Trip, this is it's a long shot, right? So I'm going to be adding here 16.95 is the low of the pre-market on Trip. We'll definitely put a level there for that one. And if we look towards the left here, this chart looks horrible. Why do I have this here, Peter? Well, this looks so bad. As far as the daily, I'm just
Really?
yeah.
Oh, I don't mind it.
It looks bad, man. I could see myself losing money on this stock already. All right, let's see.
Well, look,
Above
but if you But it brings up a good point, Carlos. If you go into a stock looking at it and it just makes you feel that way, that is probably one that you might want to avoid, right? Because you're not going to trade it with the same confidence as something else. Even if it does get a good move, you're unlikely to be in the position to, take advantage of it. So
yeah.
I mean,
Thank you for the donations. He says you guys are fire. Unfortunately, they tried firing us a couple of times and it didn't work too well. But yeah,
well, it depends what type of fire, because we appreciate that. We really do. But like we actually, what we haven't done for a while, like Carlos. So hopefully we're not this type of fire.
Oh yeah, where is that? You know what? I haven't used that in a while.
I know. Where is
this is the fire you don't want to be in, right here.
Yeah, there you go. There's
this is
that
fine.
one. There's also the dumpster fire I was thinking of.
Oh, you were thinking about, do you want the Elon or Don Elon? We'll do Elon today, because
No,
Elon's
Don.
company's
There he is. All right. Well,
have any fraud. Oh man.
All sorts of fire.
Well, Dan, we don't know what you meant. You don't know if you meant we're fire or we're fire in a good way. But either way, thanks for that.
We'll take it as a positive.
We'll take it as a positive. We always do.
Yeah.
It's
the spirit
hard,
in which we hope it was intended. So
it's hard to piss me and Peter off. We just we're good souls.
That's right. Be happy.
All right. Let's see here. So Trip levels. Let's go back to levels here. Guys, remember Andrew and Brian trading live. As soon as they come on, we'll switch over to them. They're going to be taking us through the market open. We still got some moderators coming up with their list. I only got a few, so I'll wait for that to get filled up, and then we'll go over that as well. All right, so here it is, friends. 1827. 1827. It's a good one for Trip, and then over here, over at 1931. So many. It's gap down so big that we're gonna need to get some of these levels on here. 2149. And see this. I'm not even looking at what the pre-market is doing. And although we have no volume, I know that it's not a lot of volume. You can see where some of the stuttering is happening, right? Some of these levels, right? It's right at these daily levels that we're picking off here. So think of these as an area that there can be a change in direction, a little stutter step, easier to calculate your risk to reward. Just think about that there. Now towards the bottom, if we get below this 1695, if we continue on this weakness, if I look at this daily, there is a lot of support and resistance happening right here. This is kind of like ping pong action between 1571 and 1695. So we definitely want to have that down there as well. All right, so that's Trip. That's my list: Uber, Shopify, Tesla, and Trip. I feel like we might have missed something because this thing is not packed with our usual suspects. I have Reddit, which I'm gonna move up. No, I can't chat right now. Reddit, I'm gonna move this one up over here. I thought I stopped that from coming in. There we go. Reddit, I'm gonna move right up over here, guys. So Reddit is there, and then we're going to make a little bit of space here, and here we go. Excellent. Okay, so I think that's it. I think that's my list, guys. The PRTR, we do have a little bit of volume that could be interesting, but I think this will be my list right now. All right, let's take a look at our moderators. Let's see what's happening here. We have scroll down. We have Lenny. We have hold on, Peter. Read this out. I'm going to take care of something that keeps coming out. If you want to take care of the moderators list for me.
You bet. So let's talk about what everybody's looking at this morning. Lenny is the first one in this morning, and he said he's going to be taking a look at Intel, Tesla, Shopify, Uber, and ZoomInfo. Surprised by that, but all right, it's on his list. Eamon's got two that he potentially is looking at, maybe shorts on Tesla or PayPal, but he's looking for some pullbacks on them first. Avi's just going to focus on the SPY. Thor's going to be watching AMD, Apple, and Amazon, with, of course, an eye on some of the futures here, some of the overall market futures, like he likes to watch every single day. In my case, I'm going to be looking at AMD, Tesla, and Uber, and with Rivian, Shopify, and Trip as my TripAdvisor as my sort of secondary list. We'll see if any of those move. There's one IPO that may open today, NNE. I'll certainly let everybody know in the room if and when that thing opens. And Pierre is in with Uber, Shopify, AMD, NVIDIA, and Intel. Yeah, see, Intel might be a good one, but I've always struggled trading Intel, so I usually just leave it off my list. But if it moves, I'll come back to it, I suppose. Megan's, wow, she's going to be focused. Shopify it is. Shopify all the way for the win. So Brian's going to be looking at Uber, Shopify, Tesla, and NVIDIA. Mike is going to be looking at Amazon and Reddit. I think he's the first one with Reddit on his list. But who knows? Might be a good mover today. Phil is going to be looking at Tesla, PLTR, Amazon, and once again, Shopify. You see a theme here. And then Paris, Uber, Shopify, Tesla, NVIDIA, and once again, Reddit. So there you go. There's all our moderators. You saw what Carlos has on his list. There's a lot of commonality in there, but so many to pick from that, we'll all be looking at slightly different things in slightly different ways. So we'll see how this day goes. It should be a good one. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. You're on mute, Carl. There you go.
Yep, absolutely. We'll see where it goes, man. I like it. I see Brian's list is ready to go as well. So so just wait for guys. Hang around. Do not leave. I'm gonna be switching over to Brian and Andrew trading live next. Let's see.
Indeed.
Here.
And we appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Helps the growth of the channel. So thank you very much, and give us a like and subscribe, and that way you'll know when the updates are coming. You can get all of the updates. Like Andrew, he always posts a daily recap, win or lose. He's very upfront with it, and we'll show you sort of what he did yesterday, for example. Not a great day for him, but you know what? Every trader, no matter how good you are going to have up days and down days. That's just the way it goes. So we certainly know he wins a heck of a lot more than he loses.
Leonardo here wants to hear a rant on the M4 iPad Pro. I didn't get a chance to look at the event yet. I was busy with boot camp, so I'll catch up on it tonight and see what kind of mess they came up with. I'm sure it's fine. So no rant today. All right. I see Brian's ready to go. Brian, we can hear you. Good morning. How you doing, my friend?
Doing well, thank you.
All
How's
right.
everyone
It's
There
doing
we go.
Brian.
this morning? Yes, sir.
Doing
Awesome.
good.
Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Brian. Oh, we don't normally get to overlap in the morning like this. This is awesome.
That's
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
So
All
Brian,
right.
right.
Well,
I'll
I'll hand it
wait
over to you
for.
guys.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I want everybody out there trade smart again. And these are days that are just as dangerous when you have very little to trade. When you have too much, right? You can go chasing butterflies, as I like to call it out there, and usually that means you're sort of running around looking at everything, but you're going to miss all of the good trades. So you're better off to focus in on just a couple of stocks, and win or lose, those are the ones that you're going to be watching in the morning. Because if you start trying to chase everything, it's usually not a good plan.
Yeah. Yep. Agree. I don't see Andrew on yet, so I see Brian. So I'll hang out with you, Brian, in the meantime while Andrew comes on.
Right.
Okay.
We'll get
I'll
ready
get off
to
because
rock and roll.
does he need my connection? I don't even know. But
No, you could get
no,
off. It's good.
these
Yep.
different ones. Okay.
Yep. Dan did confirm he meant fire good, so that's excellent. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate the donation.
Well,
Appreciate
we
the
know that. We were
donation
just
there.
being- we were just
Yeah,
being
yeah.
goofy.
We appreciate that, man. What are we going to use that for? We use that to upgrade the show or something. We'll figure some good use to do that, to put to that.
Buy or sell some Tay t-shirts.
Hey, you guys keep doing it. You might see me and Peter at a Taylor Swift concert. Absolutely.
I think
That's funny.
well, I'll let you go. You can tell me how it is.
How the Taylor Swift concert is?
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in going.
Going to Brazil.
Maybe I should go. Maybe it'll be a cultural experience that I would, that I don't expect. But
You got to put yourself out there, right? You got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, and you just never know.
I just think I'd feel like the creepy old guy. I don't want to put myself in that position. It's like going to a nightclub.
Yeah.
You go to a nightclub, it's just it doesn't feel right.
It's just wrong.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Brian, if you want to share your screen, because I don't have a screen from Andrew yet, so if you want to share your screen, I could bring that up, either bookmap right in the chat room, and then I'll bring that up, and then our members over on YouTube can see something here, and then Andrew should be on in a couple of minutes.
You can put a screen temporarily. Hold us out
Okay,
there.
I appreciate that. Perfect.
Oh, the rain is going now here. All right.
I'm
hoping Uber's going to move well at the open. I'm really looking. Uber's got great volume so far this morning. What do you have? 4 million, 5.2 million shares. It's it's really getting the pre-market volume, especially for a nice New York Stock Exchange stock. So I'm really hoping Uber's going to give us a good trade. And for all of those that are worried about me, don't worry. I'm still deeply in love with my friend AMD. So don't worry. We'll find a trade. It just, sometimes you gotta wait for the right opportunity. Can't be passion all the time. I mean, come on.
I agree with you. All right, friends, over on YouTube, we're just kind of getting ready here for the market open. Brian, so walk us through your list. I know you have on your list right now, you have Uber, Shopify, Tesla, and NVIDIA, kind of some of the things that you'll be looking to do this morning.
I'm liking it for possible short here. It's well back into a trading range that it was in. I'm going to call it back in from April till roughly October last year. So it's dropped back down into a lower trading range here. So I think 61 is definitely possible. Tesla's down on some more news, I guess. I think I saw something last night about something to do with the SEC wire fraud or something. So I wish I had puts over the weekend on Tesla. I wish I still had them, but unfortunately don't.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Yeah.
That would have been good. What else here? What else going on? Uber obviously, again, reported this morning. Lyft had some pretty good numbers. Uber, not so much. I think they missed on the bottom line.
Yeah, they didn't have enough a lot of bookings on their earnings, so they missed on
Okay.
that. I
Top
don't know how
line.
their guidance was though. I don't recall.
Um, and then so you got Uber. Like I said, I like Shop because it's got a bunch of bids down here on Bookmap. You can see, so I think it has some potential to drop some more here. We'll just see how it trades going into the open. Rivian had a big run yesterday on that Apple rumor, and then came out with numbers. I was reading something last night about how they lose 30 over $38,000 every car they sell.
Who's this? Is this Rivian?
Yeah, apparently
Wow,
that was something that came out. So not a
that
great
is.
business model.
Stop selling. Right away. You start making profits.
Yeah, stop selling cars.
Wow.
Jesus. Anyway, obviously the hope is someday they'll start making money on those cars, but yeah, that's pretty harsh.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I wonder if that's a volume thing, right? Is it like that's what the operation
Well,
cost
yeah,
is, right? And then if you
obviously,
actually sell more,
yeah,
it can get better. It has to. I mean, it can survive.
yeah. No, obviously, I mean yeah, the cars, lot of overhead, a lot of fixed costs. So yeah, so that's obviously they've got to be um, they got to be producing more cars to bring those fixed costs down per unit, and maybe I don't know what other what other costs they've got. Probably a lot of raw material costs have gone up in price. So
Yeah.
anyway, all right. Well, not shops getting stronger going into the open here, which isn't exactly what I want to see for the rising devil trade. What else? Uber's getting a little weaker. I think I'm liking Uber a little bit more going into the open here. Uber does have some bids. The kind of spread on it is not great. There we go. All right. Well, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens at the open. There's, well, the market's down, but we'll see what happens. We might get some selling at the open.
Yeah, Apple's moving, going red to green here. Not a big move, but it's going green
Oh,
again.
yeah. Apple's gone green on the day.
Uh, uh, Peter, you're still connected, by the way. I think I hear you
Yeah.
clicking. Is that Peter? It is Peter. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it was me. I was on mute, but I am
Ah,
still
okay.
connected.
Yeah, yeah. All right, cool.
All
Um,
right. I'm liking Uber a little bit better here for trade at the open, but we'll just let things settle out a bit. Uber does have some bids down around 64, so we'll see what happens here.
yeah.
Got 1 minute to the open. Tesla's looking a little bit weak. Let's see what we got with Tesla. Not a lot of levels on Tesla right now. Nvidia, some downside on Nvidia. Uber's still looking a little weak. And Shop is going back to the VWAP there. It's interesting. Shop could be a long.
Yeah, that could be an overreaction on the way they reacted on earnings here, and guidance, right? So
Yeah. All right, here we go. Just watching Uber primarily. See what it does. Get a little pop here.
and there goes Tesla.
Tesla's dropping. Kind of thought that would happen. Still watching Uber. All right, I've gone short. I'm short of Uber. 64.90. Probably jumped in a little bit too early on that. Tesla's still dropping here. Tesla's testing low of day. We just have to wait a few minutes here to see what happens. Getting out of Uber. I'm out of Uber. So lost 20 cents on that. I'm not. Kind of looks like it's got some upside.
Well, Uber's hard to trade. I find it very
Yeah.
difficult to trade this stock.
Could be going to 66 here, Uber. Oh, look at the SPY. The SPY and the Qs are popping hard here. So let's see what happens. Came back, popped up to the VWAP on both indexes. See what comes next here. Kind of didn't expect to see that at the open.
Reddick is dropping as well, taking the 52. Looks like, man, this is going down heavy here.
On Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit.
Damn, look at Shop now. Pop and drop. Okay, we're dropping back down on some of the indexes. Pretty volatile this morning. Oh, there goes Nvidia. Nvidia's popping here a bit. I'm not really liking the price action at the moment. Yeah, look at Uber drop now. Jesus. Crazy price action.
Yeah, look at and Lyft. Lyft is even worse. I'm glad I took that off my list there. That looks brutal. Seems like a choppy start. Even if you look at Apple, you see it's just the wicks. It's just the 1 minute doesn't look clean. Hopefully things can settle down and start giving us some good clean action. But looking a little bit choppy this morning so far.
Yeah, I did another short on Uber.
Oh, nice.
Just going to cover some at 64. Ooh, what a
Nice drop.
covered some more at 63.90. Man, oh man, we're right down at I'm going to cover Might just cover a little more here at 64.90, 63.93. There's more downside here, maybe. What a reversal on Uber. Jeez, it's crazy. There's still more bids to the downside here. I'm still thinking it's going to drop some more.
Are you still in it short? You still got some
I
left?
still have a small size short on Uber. Got back in almost a little bit lower. 64.70 is my entry this time. And now it's going to pop back up again. These things are, everything's really range bound right now. Like Nvidia looks like it wants to break out, but I just don't trust it. I don't trust these moves right now. The Qs are popping back up again. Now we're getting pop back up. I'm out of Uber again. So I'm gonna have to be fast here.
You gotta be fast, yeah.
I gotta be fast today.
It's coming above the VWAP. It looks like it wants to go here. I just don't trust it. Like I would normally take this trade here long for the breakout to 66, but Uber is tough, man. Just have a hard time trading that stock.
Wow, look at I'm long some Nvidia calls. Wow, look at that bounce back on Uber. Oh my God. Yeah, crazy. I think Nvidia looks like it wants to go green on the day. Just sold some calls. 2240. I'm long the 915 calls right now. I don't know why I picked those, but they're just they're a little bit out of the money. Usually I would trade them closer to the money.
All right. I like this setup on Uber. I'm gonna go long here. I might regret trading this stock, but it's just this is the setup that I would normally take. So I'm gonna go long Uber. We'll see how it goes. What were you saying, Brian?
I'm just looking at Uber. There's some bids there at 66. There's some asks, I should say. He might get to 66 here. Nice move on Uber. I just sold a few more puts on Nvidia. It looks like we're just going to go to 66 here.
Okay. Yep, there we go.
You got that 66.
Brian, did you
Nice.
go long here on Uber as well, or?
Yeah, I did. I got along with you
Ah,
on that.
very
Yeah,
nice.
nice.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here we go. I'm selling it here. 66.10s.
Oh man, this
Still
is
holding
nice.
some. Yeah, still holding some. Tesla popping up, Nvidia moving.
All right, we're in business. Uber actually
We're
played
in
nice
business,
today.
man.
Yeah,
I'm
usually
all out of
it doesn't, but
yeah,
today's
I'm
doing
all out
pretty
of my
good.
Nvidia calls, um, and just holding a little bit of Uber for possible 67 here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh yeah,
Oh,
nice. Selling some
excellent.
more here. Man, man.
This is a great example when people ask me, "Oh, is something gapping down? Do we go short?" You just don't know. Gotta wait for the price action. I mean, look at
Yeah.
Uber now. This thing is on fire, right? Maybe an overreaction to the news, earnings, whatever. So
Let's take a look here. What have we got? There is an ask at 68 and a little bit above there, but
do you have your Uber? I'm gonna look at your screen. Do you have your Uber?
yep,
Oh yeah, I see
it's
it.
up right now.
Yep, I
So
got it. Just
you
switched to it.
can see all the asks here. Here's your ask at 68. There's a bid at 66. There's a lot of bids down here. This one dropped. 64s, 63s. Nvidia's rolling over. Glad I got out of that. Wow, Meta's on fire.
Meta, we didn't bring up Meta today. What there? Let's take a
No,
look here.
I would
Meta.
never
Oh,
have.
wow. That's who trades this all the time. I think Jared. Jared's always watching Meta, and he's always taking these great trades. He always says, "I don't know, you guys are not watching Meta," you know. So hopefully he took a piece of this. All right, small pullback on Uber. I don't have much left already. I didn't think it was. I honestly did not think it was going to go past 66. I was very aggressive
No,
on the
I
partials.
really thought. Yeah,
uh, I don't have
I thought
left. Yeah.
66 was the top on that one. Yeah, I didn't think 66 was good either. So, or 67, I thought. I mean, but pretty big squeeze there. I don't know what is there. I don't know if there's a lot of short interest in Uber
I don't know.
coming back down to 66 now. Rivian is getting sold. Shops coming back up.
Let's see if Uber can bounce from here. I don't have a significant amount to hold it or below 66, but as our good buddy Andrew would say, just for fun, let's see if we can go higher.
Yeah.
Over on YouTube, looks like some people call Uber as well. So nice, good job
Nice.
there.
Good
And
job. Yeah.
over in our chat, a lot of people call Meta. So still holding Meta. Meta made my day. So Meta was nice.
Meta,
A lot of you guys,
nice.
yeah, excellent.
Good job. Yeah, good job on for the people that caught Meta. I mean everything in the pre-market told you Meta was going to be weak going into the open, and man, it just the buyers just stepped right in there. All right, so now we're SPY's really choppy right now. So the indexes aren't really pushing stuff around too much. The Qs look pretty strong here. They look like they're getting ready to break out. We're kind of forming a bit of a pennant. and the Qs look like they're ready to go higher here.
Yep. I'm all out on Uber. It's just not worth watching this one and being stuck when I could look for some other opportunity. So I'm all out on that. My bounce is just might not be worth it. Wow, look at the reversal on Shopify. Look at this.
I know. Yeah, I saw that.
At VWAP, looking to go higher. Another one that seems like an overreaction on the news as well. So not saying it's going to be a long here, but it seems overly done. Mara 1 minute reversal. I don't know. I'm not a great reversal trader, so I'm probably not the best one to identify if this is a good opportunity. It looks like it is reversing here, but it's early for reversals too, I think. But yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm long the Qs. QQQ. Looks like we're going to get a move up here. As I mentioned, it was looking very bullish, making a nice little pennant there.
Yeah, looks good. Very strong this morning. Friends over on YouTube, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. We're almost there, almost to 100,000. I think we're like a 98,700 followers, 98,700, and we'll hopefully get our 100K, and we'd love to be over 200. I'm not sure what the likes are now, but 200 is our goal as far as the likes go. So help us there. Really appreciate it. And subscribe if you haven't done so. We do this every day when the market is open. It's me and Peter, then Brian and Andrew. I'm covering for Andrew now. Peter's still connected, so he might jump in for a minute while I go get a coffee break. Yeah,
Right
we'd
on.
love to have you guys hang out. Wow, Brian, you're rocking, man.
Yeah, I know.
QQQs.
Yeah, the Qs. I did it with options again, just QQQ options.
Yeah.
So I'm just selling some of those at 60. The 440 calls. So you could have traded TQQQ as well as if you wanted if you just wanted to trade this an index, the stock. TQQQ is pro shares. They're beta shares, so Qs go up. They go up twice as much
Yeah.
percentage wise. So could have caught a nice move even on the QQQs. Yeah, and SPY is kind of breaking out here as well. And Uber, I'm still holding just a few hundred shares of Uber right now. Just see if we can get back 67.50 maybe. Would be cool. Hey, you're looking good, Peter. What are you thinking?
So what? You talking to me?
Yeah, what are you thinking about something? Are you in a trade or are you just watching?
No. I tried to trade Uber short off the open and stopped at break even, and I missed the big drop that you got, Brian. So
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
just
trust
seemed
it
to
at that
really be
point.
choppy.
Good reversal on Uber to take it higher. So you and Carlos got that.
Yeah. Well, Carlos kind of talked me into that trade. I was kind of, when you get,
Aren't you glad he
we've
did?
talked about this. Yeah, we've talked about this before. It's this,
Oh,
this
AMD's green.
bias that you get. Tend to get a bias going one way or another. And then it's really, Paris has mentioned this too. It's kind of hard to flip your position.
Yep.
When you're thinking one way and then all of a sudden you have to think the other.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's tough to do that. Andrew seems to be very good at that. Not something I'm an expert at. Wow, AMD is it going to take off here? Nvidia is also green.
Yeah, I can look at it. Oh, damn. I sold the rest of my calls on NVIDIA. It kind of pulled back there. But it's looking pretty darn good too.
155 for AMD.
Qs, I'm going to sell some more of these 440 options here. Ooh, got 80 cents now. Diddly doodly. That was a nice pop too on the Qs. Man, that set up nicely. That was just a really nice pennant we got on the formation just before that breakout. Darn.
Hopefully Brian doesn't need to change his shirts.
All right, I'm getting out of the rest of Uber. It looks like it's kind of stalling out here. It doesn't look, there's asks here. It just might have to do some churning, and I just don't want to take the risk of it kind of rolling over here. Well, didn't see this coming. I didn't see this rally coming. We really spent a lot of time churning on the Qs around 437, 438. But as soon as the market opened, the buying brigade came in, saved the day.
Here we come to save the day. I was watching Teva. I'm not trying to say it off the open. Anyways, off the open, and I was surprised at how strong it was. I mean, it's not a big mover dollar-wise, but if you take it with a very controlled risk, like this had a 5, maybe 10 cent risk, and you could have got like a 80, 90 cent move off of it. So good move on Teva this morning. Oh, Ivo, good. You traded Teva for some good gains. That's excellent to hear.
What's really selling off is Amazon.
1503, good for you. So you waited for the move to confirm. Yeah, okay. And then jumped in. Shop, Brendan? I don't know. I don't know what Shop is doing here. Let's see.
Just if you look at my screen, I'm showing Shop's book map on Shop. It's got it's a little bit more bearish, I think, than bullish, but it looks like it's going to move up here. It's making some higher lows on every pullback.
Level 2, you're right. Also looks a little more bearish. I don't know.
But it keeps sort of moving up here. It's back through the VWAP, which is important.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm no positions for me right now, but except for I have 2 calls left on QQQ. We are sort of stalling out here at yesterday's low on the Qs. Same with the SPY. We're kind of right at yesterday's low. We'll see if we can break through that.
You were still sitting in your Uber long. I wanted to go short, but wasn't didn't take the leap.
Yeah. Well, Uber kind of 67 was kind of where it had sellers. All right. Well, let's see if we can break through this low of yesterday on the Qs.
What else you guys got? I was still trading Teva.
Yeah, there
Scott
goes
F.
Shop. Shop is definitely looking a little bit bearish. Interesting.
Don't worry if you don't have trades at the open. This is really not my prime trading time. I normally, I'm a much better trader, frankly, after the open. So around 10:30 at this point, really, I'm waiting until about 10:30 when hopefully the trend of the day starts to establish. We get some reversal opportunities. And again, when I say 10:30, it could be 10:10 or it could be 10:50. I have no idea. Sometime roughly around there, plus or minus 20 minutes. Yeah, Michael, don't. Yeah, it can happen, right? You get chopped up here at the open. It hasn't been a hugely directional open, really, for a lot of things. There's a few things that have gotten some good moves, but it wasn't easy getting into the moves, right? In some cases. So if I look at something like Nvidia, right, not really a great trade today. Tesla, not really a great trade in my opinion, anyways. But some of the others have had good moves. It's just you had to be in the right spot, right, with the right mindset. So Teva looks like it's sort of topping here. Not sure if we're going to get any higher. Uber came back up. AMD.
Wow. Coming back to my desk, I was just getting some coffee and I realized I really messed this up here, man. I left the little bit open on Uber. That could have turned out really bad. It was a small amount, but I thought I got out below 66. I got so many screens open when I run the pre-market show that it's a little too much. I usually don't trade with all this stuff open. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of it now though. It looks like it's going up.
Wow. Yeah.
That could have sucked. That could have sucked, man. This one came back down to like my break even.
You pulled an Andrew. It must be trading at the
Andrew.
open, Carlos. You just leave trades open, walk away from your computer.
See, but Andrew does it. He does it knowingly. Yeah, this was not planned.
Yeah.
Very big difference. I don't got those guts. But here's my trend where I'm gonna close. I should close it out, right? I mean, yeah, I'm gonna close it out. I'm not gonna stick around for this. Let's just close it out. But here's the trade, guys. Very, very clean. Brian took this also. We got in long for above the view app. I almost hesitated quite a bit just because Uber's tough and we have such a bad open. Like if you look at Apple, look how nasty Apple is right now. It's getting a little bit better, but the 1 minute looks brutal on Apple. Just does not look clean. But yeah, Uber was nice for today. Unless you traded Meta. Still going. That looks nice there. Brian, are you in anything still? Did we lose Brian? He was a good man. He was a good man. Yeah.
Rest well, Brian.
I see him, but he's not seems muted.
You can see him? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's good.
Well,
I'm worried about him. Sometimes I think we got to get him one of those medic alert things so we know he hasn't fallen and needs help.
no, Brian doesn't fall that easy, man. Have you seen his moves? His Constanza moves doesn't fall that easy. Friends over on YouTube, we're gonna cut it here at 10 o'clock. We're gonna continue in our channel. If you want to join the channel to see us continue to trade live, it's gonna be bearbootraders.com/YouTube, and you can catch us there. It's free, but we gotta charge $1 to get away from the bots, right? Great trade on Uber today made the day, but a lot of our members, what they made the day on was Meta. That was the one that and it's still going. You guys still in this over in chat? Wow. Yep. Sunday says yes. That is awesome. Yep. So a few of you guys in there already. Amazing. Guys, take care, trade safe, and we will see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. We're starting with a pre-market show, and then trading live with Brian and Andrew. Bless you, Peter. Have a great day.
Brian.
That was Brian. Brian, you're back. Oh, wait, let's stop the music. Brian, you're back.
I don't know what happened. I just, when we switch back and forth with people, it just seems like sometimes someone gets, one person gets on gets dropped.
You know what it is? It's when a screen share comes on, the chat does something a little funky. Maybe that could be messing you up. But no, we hear you good now. But yeah, we're getting ready to wrap up the YouTube stream here, and we're gonna go into our chat. So
good deal.
Yeah.
Trade smart, everybody. I'm out.
Take care, guys. See ya.